Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you an anime review on Terra Formars. Now, this week's episode is pretty much a fighting episode. That's exactly what this episode is. I mean, we have a little bit of development with Komachi, but there is pretty much nothing but fighting in this entire episode. So, first things first, let's dive into Komachi's, little bit of his development in this episode that takes place at the beginning of this episode. So, Komachi, the captain. We find out, his, rage, his anger, and his, what he wants to do, he wants to get revenge against the roaches. In this episode, we see some flashbacks to the person, the girl that he used to care for, that died on the previous Bugs project, and got her neck snapped. If you watch the Terra Formars OVA 1, most likely you already seen this scene, but the thing is, okay, they kind of changed a little bit of the events at the beginning of this episode. I just want to take a moment to actually say that real quick. I personally felt as if I was watching this as an anime-only watcher, they kind of shoehorned that, sadness and drama development with Komachi at the beginning of this episode as if it didn't really matter. Honestly, if I was an anime-only watcher, I probably would not have cared about that entire beginning segment, especially with the emotions that Komachi was feeling. I mean, I would feel for Komachi, but I wouldn't feel for the girl. You get what I'm saying there? So, I personally believe the way the anime handled that beginning segment of this episode, I felt like they could have handled it a lot better, but of course they really can't because they skipped the first arc of Terra Formars, so they really can't technically adapt that right. Since they kind of skipped the beginning of this little fight, and they're forcing you to watch the OVA series to get the original arc actually animated, it kind of ruins the experience, because the other episodes that kind of complete this arc of Terra Formars, that's the OVA, that give us the development of certain characters that survived, pretty much, you won't get that until later on. So, right now, at the moment, it felt like, overall, that scene, it could have been a lot sadder if it was already added in, if the development in past and the original arc was already added, but, like I said, that's what we have to deal with, since technically we have to watch the OVAs and wait for the OVAs to actually get the full grasp on Komachi's development and what type of connection he really had with this girl. So, besides that, let's get into the other aspects of this episode. So, for the most part, there is a little bit of setup and reveals in this episode. For one thing, we find out that the roaches have taken, some form of satellite in the sky a long time ago, before the Bugs project even began, to land on Mars with humans. The roaches stole a satellite, and they started getting information and stuff like that, and they even got the fuel from the Bugs project, or the Bugs spaceship, and they used it as fucking missiles in this episode. I'm like, dude, holy shit, I completely forgot about those missiles. I remember reading the manga and not thinking much about it, but seeing the missiles, man, I have to say, the animation, it was pretty decent. The animation was decent for the most part when it came to the, fiery effects of the background. That looked really badass, and I especially love the invisible-looking roach. Oh, dude, that looks kick-ass, dude. I can't deny that. That roach that was, invisible-looking is kick-ass looking. Seriously, he's walking through the flames and all that, and you see the flames going off his body. Dude, that was awesome. I just want to take a moment to say that was awesome. Besides that, there's a lot of fighting going on. It's a really simple episode, pretty much. You have it to where a bunch of the squads meet up, and we get told that there is probably a squad, or one of the allied forces that have betrayed everybody else. So we don't necessarily know which country betrayed the other 5, but we only have guesses to guess at the moment. Who do you think actually betrayed everybody else? Now, overall, though, I personally believe the episode, when it came to the execution of the fights and stuff, it did a damn good job. I felt like the fights were done properly. It looks really badass with the fighting animation, and so I have no complaints there. Music-wise, as always, Terra Formars, if you like Terra Formars music, you're definitely going to love the music in this episode, and that's the same thing when it comes to the art style and the animation. Now, overall, like I said, this episode is not really character development orientated like previous episodes were, because the previous episodes, holy shit, Terra Formars, that development on certain characters is crazy. But, like I said, Komachi's development kind of got ruined a little bit with them deciding to force us to watch OVAs of the original arc. But besides that, episode really good. I'm curious to see exactly how Terra Formars is going to end and how they're going to wrap all this up with all these unanswered questions. I wonder if we're actually going to get a Season 2 of Terra Formars in the future. That's a big question I have in my mind right now. But overall, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How'd you feel about this week's episode of Terra Formars? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. And how does it feel to know that this anime season is wrapping up? Hard to believe. Chibi out.